Okay, what's up? I wanted to make a video today about the Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus from Sony. Now, you know, Oculus Rift originated from a Kickstarter campaign and they raised a good amount of money. And they came out with, you know, earlier designs of the Oculus. And then, come to find out, Facebook bought the company for $2 billion. And they haven't sold a unit yet. They don't even have a consumer-ready product. You know what I'm saying? They just have this development kit for like, they have one for like $300 and another one for $350. But that's just for developers. You know, people who want to use the machine or use the VR headset to, you know, see how they're gonna make games. Now, both Project Morpheus and the Oculus Rift are going to be supposedly working at 1080p. The Sony, the Project Morpheus for Sony is actually, I've seen things that said 60 frames per second. With the Oculus Rift, they say there's not supposed to be 100% overlap between the eyes, so you're gonna see like this I don't know if it's gonna be like a black line or a border or something. So I'm wondering if that's gonna interfere with the immersion factor, or maybe this is where Facebook buying the company Oculus VR is gonna come into the equation, because maybe that extra money is gonna go into development, you know, research and development. So let me just give some really, I'm not going to go into the weeds about the details about both of these systems, because, or both of these headsets, because honestly, the detailed specs haven't even been released yet. And Sony has been a lot more tight-lipped about their specs than Oculus VR. So, Project Morpheus has a 90-degree field of view. And it's said that the Rift is going to be over 90 degrees for the field of view. Now, you know that both these headsets are going to have like sensors in the back of the headsets, to where, which is what makes virtual reality virtual reality. You're going to be able to turn around and you're going to see behind you. So it's not like you're going to have on a headset and you're going to have this image in front of you and you can turn around wherever you want to. You're still going to see the same image in front of you. So it's going to immerse you in that sense, but it's not going to be Johnny Quest. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the Matrix. You're not going to, and I don't know if you would want to have a virtual reality headset where you kind of got confused between reality and virtual reality. I don't know if that's something people want. But both are going to be 1080p. But like I said, because the Oculus Rift doesn't have 100% overlap, that resolution might drop considerably, so we're gonna have to wait and see how that turns out. The Oculus Rift is going to be controlled from it's going to have like a control box that comes along with it, whereas the Project Morpheus is going to work through the PlayStation 4. Then kind of the downside with the Project Morpheus headset too is that you're kind of forced to buy the PlayStation camera and the PlayStation Move, which is their motion you know, motion sensitive controller. It looks like a little, I don't want to say a stick, but it has like it looks like a remote controller almost. So if you wanted the Project Morpheus headset, you would have to buy the camera, the PlayStation Move, and the headset. So that could possibly become pretty pricey. So I kind of see it as a way of them trying to figure out ways to use their other the other items that PlayStation sells that may not be selling as well. I don't know how well the PlayStation Move has sold. I didn't look at those numbers. The camera, I would like to think that people, I don't have a camera. I don't use the PlayStation camera. I don't fuck around with cameras, especially cameras that turn on when you walk into the room. That's a little creepy to me. But I don't know, the PlayStation, not the PlayStation, the Project Morpheus, it does look very good. You know, I actually think in terms of its design, it looks, for right now, it looks better than the Oculus Rift. The Oculus Rift they need to get the design teams together and come up with a new design for that thing, because it's kind of ugly right now. But so yeah, the Oculus Rift is going to have over 90 degrees field of view. So we're going to have to see how that works out. So that's basically it. So here's some articles. I want to read you guys these things from these articles right quick. So on TheVerge.com, it said that the VR system is currently codenamed Project Morpheus and will work with PlayStation 4. While this is in prototype form, Yoshida says that Morpheus is the culmination of our work over the last 3 years to realize our vision of VR for games and to push the boundaries of play. The headset uses a 1080p LCD, offers a 90-degree field of view, which I already mentioned, and will integrate with the PlayStation camera for tracking and PlayStation Move for motion control. It connects via HDMI and USB. While the current prototype uses a 5-meter cable, Sony would like to make it wireless. Please do. Please do, Sony. You've done a very good job with the controllers. Make the headset wireless. The company says the headset doesn't put weight on your nose and cheeks, and its design allows for airflow without the lenses fogging up. So that's obviously really good as well for people who may sweat a lot, or if people may be playing these games for hours on end, so you don't really want your body to start to get in the way. So you don't want it to be too heavy, of course. And I don't know, but I still think if people are going to sweat, those things are going to fog up. But they do use, and I believe it's both of them, OLED technology. And OLED is what's used on your TV screens. Your TV screens and even some computer screens are OLED. So the OLED is meant to sort of control heat a little bit, that they don't get as hot. Although VR is yet to turn up in a viable consumer product, the concept has been gaining momentum ever since the Kickstarter-funded startup Oculus VR showed off its first headset, the Rift, in 2012. The company demonstrated a more refined Oculus Rift prototype, codenamed Crystal Cove, earlier this year, with more contenders set to join the fray. Valve is working on similar VR technology of its own, and Microsoft has explored augmented reality glasses known as Project Fortaleza that will work with the Xbox One's Kinect sensor. So this is awesome. This is awesome because I'm about to make another video, it's going to be separate from this one, about the future of gaming. Virtual reality versus augmented reality. I happen to think personally that augmented reality has more potential. And there's reasons for that I'll explain in the video. But virtual reality, this is something where this is still kind of a field that nobody really owns yet. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see a lot of companies, even maybe video game companies, not just the major tech companies like Sony and Microsoft, but even video game companies who are making just boatloads of money from their IPs could say, hey, what's stopping us from making a VR headset? And this is a great chance for independent developers and even future independent developers to create games just for VR. Because you can imagine, think of the issue it is right now making a game, a next-gen game that also comes out for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and how watered down they have to make the games because the 360 and the PlayStation 3 can't do the graphical things that the PS4 and the Xbox One can do. So they have to find, a middle ground, so to speak. So imagine if you add VR and AR, augmented reality, to that. So imagine, Ubisoft trying to make an Assassin's Creed game for next-gen systems and virtual reality systems and augmented reality systems. That's going to be a headache. So I don't know if I don't know if it's a good idea yet that you have these, you know, these super multi-plats where you can get it on everything. I think eventually you're gonna see the video, if VR and AR really take off, you're gonna see the video game industry split into two directions. I believe you're gonna see the headset direction, the VR and the AR, and then you're gonna have the consoles. You know, unless they can find a way to make it for all of them, because it's just not going to be the same game. You know, you're going to have to build a game differently for virtual reality than you would if you're playing it on a console. And don't get me wrong, I would love to see Assassin's Creed in augmented reality, and I'm about to start that video next. So that's all I really have to say about that. So check out my next video about my opinions on virtual reality versus augmented reality. Peace.